Cramerton is a small town, but we're located 15 minutes from downtown Charlotte. It's very diverse. There's a lot of different kinds of people here. The drugs, they are more out in the open than they used to be. I just became more and more convinced that this is just such a plague upon our community. I connected with the Chowdhuries through Gaston Together. Their son, Austin, was a young man here in the community. Right after middle school, he had some extensive dental work that was done, and he was given a prescription for hydrocodone. He became addicted over time to that. Somehow he had gotten some pills, and it was laced with fentanyl. And the next morning when his parents went up to get him to go, they found him dead. When you do those kind of things, you can either sort of almost implode into yourself, or you can say, I'm gonna grab something good out of that. They've just decided to doggedly say, we are not gonna let this be something that goes for naught. We're gonna use Austin's experience and our experience to try to help other people. It just kind of hit home to the fact that, here it is, and it's right here. It just seemed like that there was a vacuum that needed to be filled.
Substance abuse here in Gaston County, in the high-level view, is it's exploding. We cannot arrest our way out of this problem because it's bigger than criminal activity. You have to recognize it as a disease and be willing to say, how can we better address this situation without having to arrest or put people in jail? What other options might be available? Because at the end of the day, we want to get people back to being a whole person. So as a member of the Drug Substance Abuse Coalition here in Gaston County, we had some goals to target different groups of people: the school system, manufacturers, employers, churches, and their pastors. And the reason is those people are influential. It's a great partnership to help spread the word about the impact. Faith Fighting Addiction helps us get that word out.
Faith Fighting Addiction is a group of churches, primarily here from Gaston County. What we're trying to do is get people to talk about the substance abuse and the problems of opioids. We have to find ways to go out and motivate people to be involved in those problems, and through Bible studies, sermons, through education programs, speakers, and those are some of the ways that we learn that.
I've been serving as a pastor for 30 years. Over the years, there does come that point to where you say to yourself, I can't keep my eyes closed anymore and pretend this isn't happening. The first time I heard Faith Fighting Addiction, it's something of which I wanted to be a part of. David came out through our relationship with a series of studies called Don't Go Back to Egypt. Sometimes we prefer to stay the slave or in addiction to something. It made it speakable to a topic that we tend to whisper. There's great value in just making things speakable, but in a non-condemning, critical way. It's an invitation to engage in the conversation. That's what church is all about, a conversation in community, and to make topics speakable within that context.
One of the things I think has happened is just by being involved in the conversation. We have given people an opportunity that are in the medical, the law, and the government, an opportunity to say, wait a minute, my faith has an impact on this. Redemption, using those type of words, has given them an opportunity to say that not only do I deal with this from a clinical standpoint or from a law enforcement standpoint, but my faith can impact how I deal with the problems of substance abuse. We need to give people some of the language they can use of faith to describe what they're doing and why they're doing it. If we ignore the whole substance abuse problem, we are in danger of putting ourselves in a place that people don't want to hear what we have to say. And if we're not relevant to what's going on in people's lives, then they're fine with walking away from it.
I serve a church that has a gorgeous building, and it has a lot of facilities, and they're empty a lot of the time during the day. That's not what Jesus had in mind. And my hope is that we can become more of a place that is welcoming for people who need the communal help that comes. This whole faith fighting addiction is, how do I become a partner with other churches and say, don't be afraid, you can do it too.